So Rosie has finally been speaking about her appearance in the Escaping Paradise documentary. Now, if you remember, Rosie, she was plugging this documentary nonstop. And I really felt like she was going to have this huge part in this documentary. She claims she never felt that way, but she had said she was going to have a whole subplot in this documentary. Now, I didn't get to see the documentary, but they're saying Rosie had maybe 2 minutes worth of screen time in this documentary. So she's finally speaking on it in her live. She did a live the other night. Of course, she was cooking and eating as usual, and she had Remy. Remy was on the phone with her the entire time. I think she wanted him there for maybe some emotional support or something. But she's talking about how she opened up all her trauma, spoke on all her trauma when she was doing this interview for the documentary when she went to Vegas. She opened up all of her trauma, and you could even notice in her tagline that they used, as she says, her tagline, which has now just become a meme, they don't tell you the price you pay. She says you could see that she had a tear running down her face because she was talking about her trauma. And now she's thinking, why? Why did she even open up on her trauma? For what? For what? She says she doesn't want to sound like she's complaining. She's just confused. She's just confused because she says, basically she's saying, what was the point of her being in it? You know, why did she rehash all of her trauma yet again? And she said she did not expect to walk away after this documentary to be saying basically, why was I even there? What was the point? She doesn't understand why she was even in the documentary because her little feederism expert spiel did nothing for the storyline of the whole documentary. So she's talking about everything she had to go through was diabolical for the past few weeks. All of the harassment she had to take and everything. Because girl world, it's all girl world's fault, Nothing is Rosie. But Rosie, here we go. It's just another example of her trying to play the victim. She's trying to be a perpetual victim here. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. I spoke on things from my past, and for what? I got 2 minutes worth of screen time. That's basically what she's saying. And somebody had asked her in the chat about Tess Holliday being in did she know Tess Holliday was going to be in the documentary? And Rosie says, no, she did not know that. But she says she can't understand why Tess Holliday was even there because she has nothing to do with this. And it should have been either her or Tess Holliday, not both of them. So somebody in the chat says, well, they assume that Tess Holliday was there because she was always a big part of the body positivity and the fat acceptance movements, right? And Rosie said, but that's not what this documentary was about. It was supposed to be about feederism, and she doesn't know about that. So, Rosie, being the expert, she says she did not call herself an expert. She didn't know that they were going to put that title there, feederism expert. So she says she's been depressed lately. She has some dishes in the sink. And she says because she's been depressed and, she's just been getting behind on things. And she says she can't understand why they never expanded on anything she said. They didn't say, and they didn't. She claims when she said, they don't tell you the price you pay. She was saying about how these feeders, they'll tell you you're beautiful and this and that. And, they want you to get bigger than this. And nobody tells you that, after you hit a certain age, it's harder to lose the weight and all the health problems you're going to get, you're going to develop and everything. So, and she seems very upset that this has just become a meme now. But, she says she doesn't want to come off as complaining, but that's exactly what she's doing. She's complaining and being the victim yet again. She seems just so disappointed because she doesn't know what was her point in being in this documentary. That's what we've been saying, Rosie. She tried to insert herself into this, and now she looks like the fool. So she 5.5 hours total being live. She started out as a members only live and then went over to a public live. And most of it was just her complaining about this documentary. And her questioning, one part she's questioning Remy, because Remy, in the last Texas vlog installment where Remy made the video, he was saying how he is exploring both his feminine and his masculine qualities, and he feels like one of his masculine qualities is leadership. So Rosie is questioning him on why is leadership a masculine quality? Just ridiculousness. Rosie is just ridiculous. Always have to be the victim. But 5.5 hours worth, it was just all complaining and a bunch of nonsense. So, bottom line, Rosie, you wasted your time. Let me know your thoughts.